All right. Thanks for coming. And please
Thank you
introduce
for
yourself.
having
Tell
me.
the people who you are and what you do on YouTube.
All right, so I am Erin under the names of either Erin Cat or Erin underscore IRL. I do like YouTube, Twitch, all the basic stuff, and I'm pretty adequate. So that's me. Oh yeah, I'm also on the channel Future College Dropouts with my friend and roommate Ashley, so you should check her out too.
Nice. So, what's the name? Are you going to be Future College Dropouts, or is this like more like a?
I mean, yeah, that's pretty accurate. So we started the channel about a month or two into our freshman year of college, and it was because we were kind of fed up with the school system and stuff. So I know everyone has a different experience. Ours wasn't the best, and it doesn't help that our second semester was kind of derailed by COVID. But we had been friends set for I want to say like 8 years now, and we had always kind of wanted to like start a YouTube channel, just do some games, maybe some like vlogs and stuff, and back then it was super popular to do all sorts of really really unedited vlog type content. So we were always like, oh, we really want to do this. And then freshman year of college comes around, we're like, okay, maybe we have to think of something to do besides this whole like college degree thing. And so we decided to just try our hand and at like making some content, playing some games, and it's been really fun so far. Like we interact a lot with indie devs and stuff, and I really love the like one-on-one conversations and stuff and lots of networking. It's been a blast, and I think it was a really good decision. But so for the future college dropouts thing, we're not technically college dropouts because we're taking a year off.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's easy to excuse with like COVID going on. It's kind of like, oh yeah, it just makes sense to take a year off because we like in-person classes more. But once like COVID gets resolved and people start going back, then it's kind of gonna be like, well, I don't know, maybe we liked being on break a little too much, so we'll see where this goes. But that's the goal.
Yeah, like since you talked about indie devs, right? Like, and that's probably where I found you guys.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And there's like itch.io is like the platform for indie developers.
Yes, I love Itch.
It's a very low barrier of entry. There's like no one like there. I think there's a little bit of moderation. There's a moderation team in there. Like very gruesome stuff is not let in. Pornographic images are not let in. It reminds me of a little bit of Newgrounds, but for indie developers, basically.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, it's a really nice platform because there's a lot of like smaller creators who are looking for content, and there's a lot of like indie devs who are looking for people to like showcase that content. And so it's really cool because it's just the ideal meeting place,
Yeah, and I recently got when it was a little bit of like self-serving, but also like I wanted to do something good. There was this like Black Lives Matter bundle game with like 1,000 games.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I think I did that too.
And I paid like $100 or something like that for that.
Wow, that's a really wow.
Yeah, so like,
yeah, no, that was a hero move.
Yeah, it's like 100. It's not much. Like it's not much. Okay, like I'm not gonna pretend here. I'm a good person. No, I'm not. Yeah. I just want to like be a little self-serving and do something good at the same time. So
yeah. It's like there's good games and it's for a good cause, and it's like if you can donate whenever you can, then that's the best you can do,
And I found 3 games that were amazing that I thought this is like why am I here? The one was like school, art school with a Q, Night Fisherman, and Island on Places, and 3 of them like just inspired me to make a video. So that's like I like itch.io because they are like new experiences. It's not like the super polished stuff. Like right now I'm playing like Control, which is like a Remedy game, super polished, well-made game, but like I feel like I didn't learn something new, and that's why I think why I play indie games. But why do you play indie games?
Okay, I really feel like it's similar, like I feel like I can't be like, I'm not an expert on the topic, but I really feel like all of the big like game producing companies, they kind of have a formula, they know what works. They're a little bit afraid to kind of venture off that beaten path per se, and I feel like indie game devs, it's almost like they don't have anything to lose, so they're willing to be more adventurous, they're willing to take risks, and they they come up with such creative things because it's just one person or a small team of people that can say, hey, let's try this, and just go out on a limb. They don't have to get a bunch of people to check it and like people to veto it or say, no, this isn't going to make enough money, because it's really, they do it out of the love and less for like not the profit end as much. And I'm sure that big game companies do enjoy their product and they love what they're doing, but it's more when it's more of a team collaboration type thing, there's a lot more chance of like a good idea getting shot down because it's not going to make enough money.
Exactly. You can't.
That's just my thoughts.
Yeah, you can. At itch.io, you can like just make a game and publish it.
Yeah,
that's it. Like there's no middleman saying nope, you can't do that. Too experimental. Exactly. Not gonna make money.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And that's another like I can tie it closely to like I like alt and indie music because they are really experimental. They just kind of mess around and do what they want and come up with really good sounds. Just sometimes it seems like they just happen across it because nobody else has tried it, because they're too afraid to stray from like the mainstream definition of what their genre is.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I feel like indie devs are so creative and there's such a broad spread of what kinds of games they come up with.
Okay, well, and also there's like the politics part of it. In itch.io doesn't take 30% flat from most developers. So I didn't even know that. That's nice. Like Steam does that. Epic does say, oh, we do less, but like they still take like 20 or 25%. So it's a lot. All the other platforms as well publish it. I had one dev. He made like he made the game Bird Symphony, and 30% goes to Steam, 30% goes to the publisher, and then they are left for like 40%.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Which is like the norm. That's the norm. That's most of the times that's how it works. And
that's not even half of the profit you make.
Yeah, on itch is like I think you can get almost 100%. I feel the only problem with itch is like most people don't know about it. Even like big people that like play a lot of games don't know about the existence of itch.io. It's like, wow.
Yeah. Like there's I know like Shiver and Cozy was the one. They like we played that on our channel, and I know like it got a lot of like publicity at some point. Like I think like Markiplier, some other people played it, and so once it reaches that level, it's like it starts getting publicity, and that's so awesome. I love to see it happen, but it's like I wish that could happen to like all of the games. I wish it feels like a one hit wonder. And it would be so cool to see people kind of like realize like, oh hey, there's like a whole network here and so many different games to play. So I mean, if somebody listens to this and just gets the lesson, like, hey, maybe check out itch.io and find like a free game that you'll really enjoy, and leave the creator like a little bit of love. Just say, hey, love this game, like thanks so much for everything you do, or like for creating. It means a lot to people.
They do need to improve though on a little bit of moderation and on the UI though, because I think most people will be turned off by how it looks, how it feels to navigate through. And like I do think some games are not in a playable state, so they should be they should be maybe marked differently or like put in a special section. At the same,
it is kind of hard to sort through.
There's Steam has the same issues with like early access games. So I do this series called Early Access Investigation, and like just found the game, again, it's like since 2015 in development, and like nothing has changed much. So it's like
a few games come into mind, but there are some really polished ones, and then there are some that are still works in progress, but
not even like 10% done. So just the demo basically. Just like a
very
tech demo. It's weird. It's weird.
It's definitely a lot of diversity in terms of like finishedness. I feel like I would be like the game devs who get that like for 5% done and then get really interested in another game, so I move on, and then I just have a bunch of like unfinished ones. So
how long is your backlog? How big is your backlog?
Oh my god. It's like years and years and years. Anything I try to start, I have so much trouble finishing it. Like with videos, I still need to edit, or like I like to like write short stories and stuff. I have everything. I have so many things that are like started and really promising, but then I just kind of lose interest and start working on something else, or like start watching a movie and forget about it altogether. So I got quite the backlog, I must admit.
Yeah. Why do you think? I think a lot of creators have that. Why do you think is that?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like creative minds are a lot less linear than more like analytical minds, like left brain, right brain sort of thing. Like right brain's the creative side, right? I think, like left brain logic, I want to say. So I feel like logical people are better at like analyzing the task, getting it done, and moving on to the next thing. But creative minds kind of tend to look at things a different way. It's not so black and white. It's not as easy for them, especially since creative works. It's like it never really truly feels finished. For example, like with a math problem, it's like when you come to the solution, you like get that last number and you're like, okay. Like in most cases, obviously in more advanced math, I have no idea because I went to 1 year of college. But like,
yeah, there's some weird shit in math sometimes.
There really is. But for the sake of my my case, it's like a lot of the problems come out to one solution. And you're like, okay, I know for sure that this is my result. But with creative works, like it's never truly finished. Like when do you know that you've put the last stroke of paint onto the canvas, or the last finishing touch, like the last line of code on a game or a program, or like the last edits on a book? Like it's really hard because it's all subjective. You don't know what if your project is done, if it's polished enough, until it's too late, until it's out in the world.
I made rules for myself. Like I think I'm definitely more like the analytical type, but even that, though I'm more analytical, I made the rule for myself, like making the 80-20 rule. If like 80% happy with the stuff, I gonna consider releasing it, and like maybe working on it a little bit and then release it, like, and then release it and not think about it anymore. Just move on. Just move on to the next thing. Because
you have to at some point.
Yeah, just like finish it, move on, and like learn from what you could have done. And with that, I think that's the only reason I could do stuff regularly, like every week almost. I see a lot of people starting on YouTube. Like I expected your channels to like, maybe it was like, okay, maybe they're gonna survive 6 months and never gonna upload again, because that happens a lot. Like I've seen so many channels like upload and like 3 months gone, or 6 months gone. And
oh, I hate seeing that, because sometimes I'll come across like a channel that looks really promising and I'm like, oh my god, like this is a small channel and they've got the ball rolling and it looks like they're doing really well, but then I look at their most recent upload and it says like 4 months ago and I'm like, oh
yeah,
darn,
so,
lost another one.
Yeah, most people don't do stuff because it is hard. It's like it takes time to make. So the more I edit, the more I learn about editing, the more I feel, the more I see why others do certain type of videos. For example, one of my pet peeves right now is like having a picture and not freeing it up, like not having the background transparent. So like having a shovel, but having a shovel like with a white background, because you can Google that shovel and then it will have a white background and like it not be freed up, or have like have a border. So I know why they do that. It's because it's easier to just have the picture and put it in. Otherwise, you have to go to like your program of choice that you like use to like cut pictures, cut the picture, make a border, and then implement that into the thing. So it's like, I understand why it's, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, okay, I understand, and that makes me sad.
Yeah, you gotta cut out a lot of steps in the middle.
Yeah.
And I hate when you like know too much and it starts ruining like the.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like ruining the fantasy of the thing for you, like the romanticism. Like, oh my gosh, like when I get into editing and I can see all of the jump cuts and I can imagine how it's happening, like, or when I'm like watching like a YouTuber that I really like and I see a part where they like repeat a line too many times and I'm like, oh, they meant to like catch that whole line in its entirety and they forgot to cut out the beginning part where they're like, anyways guys, and then they go into like their line and I'm like, oh, they meant to chop it there, the jump cuts, you can see, how the zoom works, and it's like it does ruin some of the fantasy, and that's why I'm afraid to get into some things, because I know if I started coding games I would think about like the assets every single time that I play a game, or if I got into animation I would think about how much work goes into it. And it's scary, because it's like the more you get into something, the less like fantastical it seems. It's not as fun or whimsical, and it's not magic anymore. It ruins the magic.
It's funny because I had Jean, like one of my buddies, like the episode is not out, but like I talked to him and I asked him, do you think you would be happier if you were dumb or ignorant? Like, and my answer is like, I think I would. If I didn't know anything about the world, nothing about politics, nothing about anything I know about games, if I were just ignorant, I think I would be happier.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It would be so much easier, and everything would seem so much more magical because you don't see the inner workings and how how dark some things really are.
Yeah.
It's kind of depressing.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird because I'm grateful for being like at least a little bit smart, like knowing stuff, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah. At the same time, I'm like, do I want that?
Yeah, it's kind of like, what do you have to sacrifice?
Yeah.
To know things,
There's a reason ignorance
innocence.
is bliss. Ignorance is bliss as a saying. It exists, because it is.
It really is. Yeah, it's like when all of the characters in the Wizard of Oz found out that there was this magical wizard guy that could cure everything. It was just the guy behind the curtain, and it kind of makes you sad.
Yeah, the Wizard of Oz guy was in reality just a scammer.
He was just a scammer.
Yeah,
he was a good one though.
Yeah,
I mean, he had the entire town like worshiping him.
Yeah, he was like I would say he's more like a magician, right? Like a real life, not like a magician with real magic, but a real life magician. So someone that like does magic in real life. So
kind of like sleight of hand, but it's all in your head. Mind games. Yeah, if he was standing in front of me, I would say, "Oh yeah, magician, not scammer, magician."
Yeah, magician.
But, like, he's a scammer.
Illusionist. Yo.
Yeah. Oh, illusionist. That's a good word for it.
Yeah. I met magicians and like young magicians like in school and like very good and like, but also the amount of time they spend on like for honing their craft is like no, I can't, I couldn't.
Yeah, so much practice. Like I tried to learn how to juggle and I was like, okay, I can't do this. Anything that takes more skill than that. That's kind of like my that's the line that I'm not willing to cross. I'm like, if it's harder than juggling, I can't do it.
Yeah, physical tasks. I think physical tasks are a good like distraction from like. But I should do more physical stuff. Like I sit all day like writing scripts, cutting up videos. Like,
oh my gosh, yeah.
I should change that. I should go out. I do go out, but like I should go out more and like do more physical.
What we should invent. We should invent something. We should make an invention where it's like a treadmill, but there's like a computer on top of it. So it's like a standing desk, but taking it to the next level. And so you got your arms free. You can like do all the editing and stuff, but you can like walk at your own pace, or you can do a little jog, so you're feeling like you're doing some exercise, but you can still edit at the same time. So you're not out running and thinking, oh my gosh, like I have that really long video to get through. I don't think I'm ever going to finish it.
Do you get sometimes this feeling of like, oh, I could be working right now? Like,
yes,
I could be doing a video right now. Like,
oh my gosh,
you're taking a shower, I could be editing right now. You're sleeping, I could be editing right now. You're watching a video, I could be editing right now.
It's like you're inside my head.
Yeah.
It's like the fear of missing out, but it's like the fear of not being productive at all times. Like if I'm like exercising, then I'm like, oh, I could be editing. If I'm editing, I'm like, I could be cleaning my room. If I'm cleaning my room, I'm like, I could be exercising. It's like no matter what I'm doing, it's not the right productive thing.
Yeah.
And then most of the time I'm not even doing anything productive. So I'm like, I could be doing any of those three right now, but instead I'm binge watching Curtis Connor on YouTube. Not that that's not a productive way to spend an afternoon, but
yeah. What do you watch on YouTube?
Oh gosh. Oh, your channel, of course. Just your channel.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for the lie, but
Oh, have you guys checked out Carl? Yeah, he's really good at his podcast. But I do watch a lot of like commentary channels, but I like to stay away from the more like, there's a lot of controversial ones. I really like the ones that are kind of okay. So I feel like my go-to is like the Viners turned YouTube commentary because they know how to make a video entertaining. Yes, yeah, Drew Gooden, and then the other Drew Gooden that goes by Danny, and then and Curtis Connor, like I said, I feel like they're like relatively unproblematic, and I feel like I'm gonna say that and regret it. But yeah, so I watch like commentary or like I watch gaming sometimes. I feel like I don't have a super diverse taste in YouTubers. I either watch like the bigger ones or my friends. So oh gosh, now I need to think of big YouTubers that I watch. Like I used to watch like a lot of Mark and Jack when I was younger. So those are a lot of like I feel like everyone's had that experience, but they're like my inspirations for like the gaming stuff. And then I have a lot of like smaller creator friends, that some of the people like that I collab with or some of the people I interact with on social media that also deserve a lot of attention, so I'll watch their things and kind of say like, oh hey, I loved your video, and then we both get like some entertainment value out of it. So yeah, I like watching a good array of people.
I think when I first saw your channel, right? It's like your channel together. How do you say it? Your channel? It's plural your.
It would be it would be your joint channel.
Your joint channel, exactly.
Yeah.
The one thing that like I immediately thought, oh wow, female game grumps. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
We get compared to that a lot. Yeah.
This has potential. I want to see where it's going, and
yeah,
like it's. I think it's still a good idea. It's a good format to have like two personalities on one show and like commenting on the video. And I think what is hindering you is like everything that is hindering everyone that is covering indie games. Nobody cares about them.
I know, and it's so sad, but yeah, that's so true. People are like, "Oh, that's cool. You're friends with this one like indie dev, and that's awesome. But like, can you play more Among Us, please?"
Yeah, exactly.
Among Us is tried and true, and it's always gonna do well. Well, for now, like any video uploaded with Among Us in the title is going to be successful right now.
1000 IQ, 1000 IQ Among Us, exactly.
Yeah, Among Us is fun. It is, but so are indie games.
Yeah. It's difficult for me to explain sometimes, but I think it's mostly people buy most of the times, like most people, like the wider gamer sphere trademark, the wider gamer sphere is like it's a lot of like they buy one game a year for $60 or maybe 2 games a year, and that's it. And they never play anything else and those games fill up these hours because they're like very long, open world action adventure, third person shooter slasher assassin thing. So it's like one mix of those things. So it's 1 or 2 games a year, but it fills up 100 hours or 200 hours, and they don't have time for anything else. And people that find themselves in like indie game scene, they're like, it's maybe 1 or 2 hours you have, but every time there's something really special in there. The idea at least super special, or it's a really well polished game. So
I totally agree.
Yeah, I feel like the indie scene has not arrived at the mainstream yet. It's growing, but it's still like very, very small. And there are also like not enough indie content creators. There's maybe like Splattercat Gaming, who is big, but he covers like big indie games, if you call that that. He just covers big indie games and doesn't go really in depth. He just plays them, and that's it. It's like there's like a showcase basically, and you can see the smaller the game is, the less views the video is getting. I'm like, wow, just watch. See the
it really relies a lot.
Just see if you like the video game, maybe try it out. I got in this indie game scene because of Total Biscuit. May he rest in peace.
Oh no, what happened to him?
Yeah, he had cancer and like died a few years ago.
That's so sad.
Yeah, but I got in this indie scene because he recommended a game called something Explorers, and I bought the game. I'm like, wow, I really like this, and I go, oh, it's a smaller game. And the developers themselves said, oh, he saved our game. Without his like shout out, nobody would have like found it. They even have like a Easter egg in the game for him.
That's so that warms my heart. It actually gave me chills to hear that.
Yeah, and it's like
I've always wanted to be able to do that for somebody.
And yeah, like the thing is like he grew it aside and is like, yeah, I have these games. He's a really good game, and he saved that game basically. I don't know what they're doing what they're up to right now. I should check it out. But yeah, it's like that's where I got into indie gaming, and I saw a bunch of indie games on Steam, and then I found itch.io, and like from there, like, oh, okay, this is like I fall in this rabbit hole of like just playing indie games. They're like maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, maybe an hour long, but every time there's something really special there.
Yeah, it's that really personal touch that like an individual can bring to a game.
How did you find yourself into the indie game rabbit hole?
So I think it was actually through Ashley. She knew about like itch.io, and she was like, oh, hey, there's this really cool site where like there are a lot of indie games uploaded. They don't get a lot of exposure, and there's some really good stuff up there. So like we should definitely incorporate that into our channel. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. We should check it out and like maybe do a few games on it, you know? And we ended up doing like a lot of videos centered around the games on there. And it's because, you know, we were just kind of, oh, we'll intersperse it with like some Sims or something because we both really like Sims. And we ended up playing like a lot of games. We still have plans to do more because there are so many options on there, so much variety. So yeah, that's kind of how we got into that.
Yeah, I mean, of course, like I said, I have 1,000 games. I've in the 1,000 games pack, there's like even like board games about like dating angels, for example. I'm like, what? Like you can like it's a dating sim, but it's a board game, and like you can date.
I love dating sims.
Yeah, you can like date Angel Gabriel. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
and you can make like
dating sim creators are so freaking creative. Yeah. You can date anything now.
Yeah, they date anything. So I mean, wasn't there like a game, Hatful Boyfriend, where like about a bunch of pigeons?
Oh my gosh, probably. Like, one of my friends got a bundle on Steam, and he was like, "Oh, hey, I'm never gonna play this game. Like, do you want it?" I was like, "Sure." Just message it on over to me. I'd love it. And it's like a cat dating simulator, and I'm like, "Is this?" I'm like, "How morally okay is this?" And I was reading the reviews, and somebody was like, "Oh, I came into this expecting more of like the like kissing cats thing, and I found out that it was actually just really funny." But like I found out that it actually didn't have a lot to do with that, and I was like, oh thank God. And he was like, did they say that in like a good way or a bad way? Like were they disappointed? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, dating sims got dating sims got a little bit of out of hand, to be honest. Sometimes. Yeah. They're like
people. It's funny because I'd imagine that at the beginning they were pretty serious. You know, there was a lot of like visual novels or something that hinged on like realistic storylines, something you might see in a movie. And then there had to be one person that went, okay, but what if you dated like household objects, or like what if you dated different types of trees? And they just ran with that, and then everyone else was like, they're onto something.
I think it's the same thing.
They discovered the whole world.
The same thing with simulation genre, like. First everything is traced back to Minecraft, but like then people said, oh, what about being like a policeman, or what about being like Bob the Builder? What about being being a car mechanic? Like the simulation games are really intricate, and now we're like there are simulation games where like build a plane. Like you take every single like nut out, and like you have to clean them and wash them and replace them. Like, yeah, it's very intricate.
Just terrifying. Yeah. It's terrifying to me. I would forget, and I wouldn't be able to put it back together.
I mean,
I feel like it went from like things where it's like, oh, I would love to, you know, try out this occupation, so like surgeon simulator or something like that, even though I know it's here. And then it came down to like goat simulator, which is kind of the pinnacle for me.
Goat simulator, yeah. Like goat simulator is one of the stream bait games where I'm like, I should respect that, because there's so many like stream bait games or YouTube bait games that are really badly made and don't deserve whatever the success they get. But like Goat Simulator is actually, the developer wants to make that, like the bugs in quotation marks, or the visual glitch is like part of the programming. It's like,
that's the best part of it.
And the glitch is really almost intentional, you know, like that the neck snaps along, or like that there's a visual bug that's almost like intended. So
just to add a little bit of like whimsy to it, it's like you wouldn't get these game breaking bugs in other games, right?
I think it's even intended some stuff, like the developer coded in so it can happen. So no, that would make sense, because it does seem to happen a lot. It's very intentional, like Goat Simulator is the one stream bait game I actually respect. Most of them are I don't know. It leaves like a bad taste in my mouth, because like it takes away, like it gets covered by a big YouTuber, and then it takes away from like, it doesn't take away because like there's still eyes on them, but like it takes away space that could be used for indie games that are pretty good. So I totally get what you're saying. I have a little bit of a grievance with those type of games, especially because they also land in early access for some reason, and then they clog up early access and never come out. So
you know, when it gets stuck in early access for a while, that it's like either they are working really hard or they're not.
It's never coming out again. Yeah, I have stats on that. So I think 60 60 to 70%. I made my own stats. Like I did go through it all.
Wow.
Yeah, so 60 or 70% of the games do not come out. That's like horrifying, actually.
Yeah, that would be the category I'd fall into, though.
Yeah.
I'd bump it up a little bit, like 61% now, because Erin made a few.
did like videos that don't come out, or
Anything that anything I touch is only going to be like 25% done.
Yeah, it's sometimes I have to really push myself to make like for example, this last video I made, I had so many problems like with rendering it because I encountered a weird bug that happened. Like it was rendering just black parts, just black. Nothing was not showing.
Oh gosh!
And finally, I found out. Oh my god, that's why. And the reason why was like some weird new feature they rolled out with proxy. And if you turn on the video feed and then put that video feed into the timeline, the proxy is gonna overlay the video over it. But if you render, it's gonna render the part that is under it. So it's like it can be in the rendering doesn't see anything, but you can see in the preview that it's showing something. So oh my god, and yeah.
Oh my god.
So yeah, that
sounds like such a headache.
That was a pain. And I'm like, oh no. And the moment I found it out, I'm like, no, please. And they still
no, it's over for me.
they still won like a visual error in the newest video, if you can catch it. It says like invalid for a few seconds. Enough
I'm gonna watch
under a second. Like it says invalid.
I'm gonna scrub through for that specifically.
It says invalid in the picture. It's like it goes really fast, and you could almost see this as like I'm making a joke of the argument I'm making. So
yeah,
unintentional.
Yeah,
unintentional. Yeah, it's
you could pass it off as intentional though.
Yeah. So yeah, sure. I definitely planned to do that. All planned. That was not a mistake at all. I think I did one video. I did really an editing mistake, and then I just put a poll on the side saying, "Did I do an edit mistake?" And say yes, super yes, hard yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
That's funny.
Do you guys know a lot of indie developers that try to do like ironic games or like parody games?
Ooh, that's a good question. I definitely feel like I should know some. I feel like, first of all, every dating sim is just a parody of another dating sim.
Yeah. What was the original dating sim? That's a question
I know. That's what I want to know. Like, what's the first
dating sim?
Yeah. What's the first? There's like the first focus of like a dating sim. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's the first topic? Who's the first dated? I'm really curious about that now, but I feel like it was definitely people. I think we started with people and kind of branched off.
I mean, isn't like speed dating a kind of dating sim?
Oh yeah, maybe it was real life. Wow.
Yeah.
That kind of.
I would like to know the first virtual dating sim. I would like to know that.
Yeah. First every dating sim I want to know. I want to know the first real life dating sim, the first virtual dating sim. Maybe, I mean, now it's like dating apps are kind of like relationships.
Yeah, that's a dating
now,
sim.
You know?
That's a dating sim.
Yeah. There was one, I can't remember the name of the game now, but there was one that was about, it was made recently because it was about like COVID dating, like all the COVID restrictions, and it's kind of like a movie, like visual novel type thing, but they're real actors, and it was about
full motion video.
Yeah, and so it was like there were different clips that they would like insert within the options. So it was kind of funny because they would give you like multiple choice options, and the character would just be like, the actor would be like sitting there like staring at the screen. Sometimes they would say something like offhand, like, "Ooh, this is a hard one. If you took too long," something like that. But yeah, that one, that's like that really puts the dating simulator into the dating simulation. Like they're simulating dating on a dating app, and then they're simulating the simulation of dating simulator.
Yeah, there's like a Black Mirror episode about that, where like,
oh yeah,
so Black Mirror has like a very bleak look into the future, and what happens there is like you once you like make your profile, a copy of yourself, of your like all your what you want, what you don't want, and so on, is made on your phone. Basically, it's like they can make a perfect copy of it, of you, but you don't know. And what happens is like in this simulation world, they are like people are paired together, and to see if they belong together, and like all of the simulations are run simultaneously, and the goal is like if those two people reject the simulation together and run away, they're probably made for each other, and they have like a higher match percentage.
Wow.
So
that's pretty meta.
Yeah, so it's like there's like you are not dating them yet, but the algorithm is predicting that you would date each other through like matching you like two perfect replication of your brain basically in that simulation. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that would make things a lot easier. You don't have to spend so much time guessing.
At the same time, like someone could be pushing the numbers around,
to say, you hack the date.
Yeah, someone could be like
somebody just hacked a relationship.
What if the program finds out they like 100% match, definitely, but the developers say, hey, if we can make money with that, so we're probably not gonna recommend this person to this person.
Oh yeah, because they want to keep them in the system and get more money from them. Yeah. So what if you meet your soulmate and then you have to reconnect despite like the system trying to keep you apart?
Yes. I mean, that's what happens with dating apps, right? Like they are not interested in you fighting anyone to be together. They want to keep they
don't want you to delete the app.
Exactly. They wanted you to spend money on it.
Yeah, it's actually funny because there's like, I think it's Match, that their entire campaign, their entire ad campaign is based off of like the app that's meant to be deleted. Mm-hmm. They're like, hey, we want you to find your soulmate, so come like download our app and then delete our app when you find the perfect one, so it's kind of funny.
You believe that?
It's like, it's self-aware. I don't know, because I mean, I've never spent money on a dating app, so they haven't caught me yet.
Okay.
But yeah. I'm not gonna fall for it.
Yeah, it's because it has like a little bit of touch points with games as well, because gacha games, for example, are basically that. They're trying to like make a routine with you, like they give you like energy so you can spend the energy, like, oh, we come back later, like this, like making a routine so you come back later, and then at some point like, oh, this grinding is too much, maybe I should spend money, and like those who are not aware of this will definitely spend money, like most people probably not, but like those that have disposable income and don't want to skip the grind, they're like, I just paid some money, and they do it. It's like, it's very nefarious. It's like, and the same thing goes to like dating apps, like, oh, I feel lonely, maybe I should pay the high priority queue, whatever, and like
exactly. It's like a trap. They get you in once, and then they have those like automatic they have automatic subscriptions, so even if you don't automatically renew it, I mean, if you don't manually renew it, sometimes they'll do it themselves. They'll be like, oh, just try our free trial, you'll love it. And then they kind of like sneakily just charge your credit card. So that's whenever somebody asks you to go and put your credit card in, I'm automatically like, this is sus.
I don't do that.
I'm not about to.
Yep, I'm like, fuck off. If you want to give me a free trial, give me a free trial. I'm not gonna put my credit card in there.
Like, make it a free trial.
Yeah. I think a year. It was years ago. I think it happened. Like, there was discussion about having free to play tag on your game on Google Apps on Play Store if it's not actually free. And I think a law passed about that in Europe, but I'm not so sure.
Oh wow. So, yeah, no, that's nice, because there's so many like games and stuff, especially mobile games, are really annoying because it's like they claim to be free, but then they're practically unplayable if you don't spend some money on it. And one game that I actually really like is Team Fortress 2, but you can't do any of the interactions unless you like buy. It's free to play, but you can't do any interactions. Like, you can't use chat. You can't do certain things unless you
can't use chat.
Yeah, no, you can't use chat at all unless you spend like a little bit of money. You just got to purchase like one in-game item. But it kind of makes sense. So it kind of makes sense because the game is really overrun with like hackers and bugs and stuff.
Okay.
So that's kind of their way of making sure of like regulating that stuff.
Having
it's like
a paywall.
To be able. Yeah, exactly. It's like you have to be willing to spend a little bit of money on it before we're going to let you in.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense. And yeah, I spent money on it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people forget that like basically Team Craft, Team Minecraft, Team Fortress basically were the forerunners of like microtransactions, and nobody noticed it. It sneaks in. Or sometimes like and like I'm kind of okay because most of it is cosmetical, but come on, let's not kid ourselves. Like even cosmetic stuff is important for gameplay. Like I remember like there was a time in gaming where like you could play missions and then receive like outfits, and it's like people want that. People want to have outfits on their characters. Like let's not pretend that's like not a thing that people want. Like yes, sure, it's less nefarious if it's just the outfits, but like come on.
Yeah, nobody's gonna play a game and just like nobody's gonna purchase a game and then play as like the default character. You know, like everyone loves customization.
I did that
it wouldn't
all
be
the
in
time.
Every single game. Did you?
Yeah,
okay,
I'm like I don't give a shit. Like
you liked the default. They made the default for you.
Yeah. I think most like even like the recent games I spent money on because I played a lot of hours was Space Lords, and none of the skins really spoke to me. I'm like, I like the default ones better.
Wow, yeah, kind of basic. Not gonna lie.
I'm a basic bitch, you know. That's what I say.
You said it, not me.
Yeah.
But yeah, have you played Cyberpunk?
No.
Me neither. I can't afford it. So there's so many customization options that it's actually crazy. I saw somebody made that like meme guy. You know, the guy with the thumbs up who like kind of looks like he wants to cry.
Yeah, the depression guy.
Somebody made him like exactly. Yeah, they made him like down to like the very finest detail. And I don't know if it's like a mod or if it was like edited or something. But
yeah, it's edited.
There's so many customization.
Like,
yeah,
it's
probably.
edited. Like I think Cyberpunk has like Cybercrunch. I want to say Cyberpunk has like I think what most people are talking about right now, Cyberpunk is like they don't know what it is really because it wants to be an immersive sim. It wants to be an RPG, and at the same time, it wants to be like a character-driven narrative game. So
yeah, I don't know enough about it, but I do know the essentials. Like you can customize the size of your junk, which I think is essential.
or the vagina. So that's also okay.
I didn't know about that. take that however you want, but yeah, it's 3 settings for your wang.
For your wang, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a YouTuber had his name called Wang, and he got suspended on I think Twitter. Like it was a long time ago, but like I think his Twitter got suspended, and like his YouTube videos sometimes got like demonetized randomly because his name is Wang, and like. Oh, nice.
There's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do, like because whatever.
Oh my gosh, that really sucks. I'm so glad that like Erin.
Yeah, that sucks. You could say that sucks, dick.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd much rather get demonetized for something that I actually did wrong. Like demonetize me for my liberal use of like sexual innuendos, not for my name.
Yeah, I have to say, some of the videos, there are a lot of sexual innuendos. At the point where I'm like, are they talking about the game or are they talking about sex? Like, I can't distinguish anymore.
Yeah, we're having like a sex themed conversation with like just a game in the background. It just so happens to be Bendy and the Ink Machine most of the time.
Yeah, I'm like, are they talking about the game or something else? That's so weird.
When like smaller commentary channels oftentimes will have like a game, like kind of satisfying gameplay playing in the background.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there will be like different like platformers or something just going on, so you have something to just. Because lots of people just like tab over anyways and do something else while just listening to the commentary. That's kind of what it is for us. You know, we have a game playing in the background and we're having like a side conversation about like sex. Why do
I even like put effort into making visuals?
Yeah.
No, I get it. Like I think.
No. I'll send you my like game footage of Boris and the Dark Survival, and you can just put the video over top of that. It'll be just as off topic.
Yeah, like I don't know what I feel about YouTube sometimes. Like I feel like some stuff is like really speaks to me, and something like I don't understand. I'm like,
yeah.
what is
There's
this
some really
supposed to
weird
be?
rabbit holes.
Yeah, what is this supposed to be? I found I have been chosen by the YouTube gods, and I've been recommended a video with no name. The video has
Wait,
no name.
no name?
Yeah, just no name. No, nothing. It's blank. Yep.
How do you? I want to search it up, but
You can't.
how?
You can't search it
Yeah,
up.
you can't
You have to
search
be
it up.
recommended it. You have to be chosen by the gods.
Wait, really?
Yep. And it's a really good video.
Goodbye.
I can't say.
Oh.
Can say. I've been chosen. I can say.
You could say you choose not to.
So I can send it over afterwards. But like, yeah, it's like
Okay.
it's a very interesting. The YouTube, the video and the channel is blank. The channel name is also blank.
Oh no, that's like when you're on Among Us and you try to ban like a hacker, but they don't have a name. Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, just ban the blank guy.
That is should be pretty straightforward. It's the guy who keeps scanning in the middle of admin because you can't do that normally.
Okay.
I promise you.
Yeah, Among Us has like I think it has. They want to implement anti-cheat, right? I forgot, but like yeah, Among Us had. I think they didn't count with like the popularity it would get. Right?
Yeah, no, they definitely didn't. It's like a few years old already.
2 years.
So
yeah.
they had no idea this was going to happen.
That proves me to mate from time and time again. Indie games are underrated. You know?
Yeah.
Like
maybe every indie game will have its day. You know, maybe in a few years someone will happen across like our favorites.
Yeah. Not every indie game deserves it, of course. Like sure, like not every channel deserves to be successful. Like and not
yeah. Like,
and there's not enough eyes for everyone. So I get it. It's like but. The ones that are like
for example, there's like this one channel that I don't think deserves any attention, especially not 145 subs. And they say a lot of sexual things. They're never going to be monetized.
I talk about morgues.
Dropouts.
I talking about morgues.
Oh, if we can be indistinguishable from morgues, that is a very, very bad thing. Don't ever compare me to morgues.
I'm just fucking around. Yeah, I think morgues should not have like the sex, but whatever. It's like he appeals to a certain demographic, so.
Yeah, like children. And
he's just Mr. Beast like
children.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's probably because he copies every video of his
and every thumbnail.
Same name, same subtitle. Yeah, exactly.
He borderlines.
I make a point.
Yeah, borderlines plagiarism. It's basically
plagiarism.
I
know. Yeah, and it's like they're both. It's not like he's flying under the radar. Like the YouTube gods see him. They know of his existence, but he's getting them money. So, yeah. I make a point of only giving those people attention through other people. That's why I watch so many commentary channels. Because if somebody's like covering a controversial person, I'm like, I want to know about them, but I don't want to give them the views or the monetization. You know?
Yeah, I sometimes I also like I can't watch the original. Even though except if I want to do something with it, but like I can't watch the original stuff because it's,
like it doesn't feel good to give them
it's
attention.
Also, most of the time it's just too boring.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just completely unwatchable.
So let the people that are commenting on it take the parts out that are interesting and like important to point out, and let me consume through them.
Yeah, I'm gonna consume the most condensed version of it. Like they take out all the boring parts and just leave in the most entertaining parts. Like somebody that comes to mind is Nikocado. I can't even say his name. It's Nikocado Avocado. Just Nick. Yeah, it's Nick. Have you heard of him?
Yes, the Avocado Boy.
Yes, the Avocado Boy. I don't think I've ever seen one of his videos like in person. You know, I've never clicked on one of his videos, and I'm proud. No,
I did, but it was
gave in.
But it was a watch together, and we were making jokes all the time. So, did we really watch it? Did we really watch it?
No, you're redeemed.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people just take the like funniest parts of it. Like there's a lot of compilations, you know, like Nikocado Avocado being loud and annoying for 10 minutes.
Yeah, there's a lot of nothing.
So they take the most entertaining parts.
There's a lot of nothing in these videos.
Yeah, because sometimes I'll watch a video and I'll be like, did I miss something? Because this doesn't make any sense. And then the person commenting will be like, just so you know, I didn't edit that. Like, there's no context. They just start yelling about their relationship problems and like how their marriage is failing.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend the one where he wears a wedding dress though, and he just kind of like flounces around. It's actually hilarious. He just, oh my god, he just bounces in and out.
I think what Nick does is one of the things that I very like. I'm very conflicted on like this type of art. There's something like I praise, and at the same time like so it's called Dadaism. So Dadaism is like art that is supposed to not make sense. Like it's just supposed to be random. That's what like memes in general are Dadaistic. YouTube poop is Dadaistic. Maybe a little bit anachronistic, like it's out of time already. Like nobody watches who poops anymore, even though people they still make it them. And the Nick Avocado Boy is like that. Like he just random camera shenanigans, and that's the video.
And it works.
And it works.
Like, I almost respect him in a way because he acts stupid and causes a lot of drama, but he does it on purpose. Like he knows he's not as dumb as he acts.
Trisha Paytas does it. Same thing. Like it's a professional troll. Who else? Onision, even though I don't like him personally, probably also professional troll.
Yeah, you tried to get the police, whatever. The meltdown one. So you settle for the paycheck, and he's trying so hard to channel his like supervillain.
His supervillain arc started, and now it's like
he like you can tell that's one of those things where it's like, oh, this guy wants to be an anime character. You can just watch those and just know.
Imagine Onision actually in an anime, voice acting in anime. Like he's like the supervillain.
He would probably love to. Yeah, and if he would write it himself too. He would write the entire show, and he would just make himself super handsome. Everyone would fall in love with him.
And it would be also be about
super vulgar and unlikable.
Yeah, it would also be about hating God and being atheist.
Yeah, and vegan.
And vegan, yeah, exactly.
Okay, the best two things.
Yeah.
Atheist and vegan. I don't believe in gods or animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
they don't exist anymore.
Yeah, it's like I'm also an atheist, but like I can see why so many people like hate it. I understand why edgy atheists exist, and at the same time, I know that a lot of people feel annoyed by atheists. I just like to explain like this: if you live in a world where everyone constantly keeps telling you, no, when you get older you're gonna believe, or like, no, you have to believe, or you have to have like some, of course you're gonna be edgy. Of course, like at some point you just rebel and you say like, fuck off, like fuck off, Dad, you don't know anything about my life. Like that.
It's not a phase, Mom.
It's not a phase, Mom. Like I get it. Like of course there will be edgy atheists if there are like so many edgy religious people, like how many edgy religious people do you know in your life? Probably a lot. So of course there will be
gonna be extremists.
Yeah, of course there will be the edgy atheists. So I kind of understand them, but at the same time, like, come on, tone it down, okay?
Yeah.
It's okay. We got it. We get it, okay?
If you're getting into like shouting battles in the comments of somebody else's like Instagram post, then that's when you know it's gone a little too far,
One thing that was really interesting that happened to me recently. So one video about like, it was a comedic video about like a dad talking to his child, and the child is like asking questions, and at some point the dad snaps, it's like, nobody loves you, you're a failure, you were like a process of drunken stupor, God doesn't exist, so and if it does exist, your mom or me are wrong, because your mom is Catholic and I'm Jew. And like the child becomes very sad, and I just wrote the comment like, I just, as a sarcastic comment, you don't need to be like aggressive about the truth. And like for some reason the comments, like the responses spiraled out of control to a point where someone was like saying something the earth is round, and it's like you also probably believe that the earth is round, like, and stuff like that, and there's an answer, no, the earth is a cube. Like, no, it's something like, no, the earth is a cube sitting on top of like sitting on top of 4 elephants and the cosmic space turtle, and that's the truth.
Are you telling me you haven't seen the cosmic space turtle yet?
Yeah, like,
get out a telescope and take a look.
Yeah,
it's out there.
Just take a look, like it's right there. Yeah, the cosmic space turtle.
Right back.
That's the way you like can't combat like really people that are out there, you cannot really convince them anymore. Just go beyond that. If they say the Earth is round, you say no, the Earth is a cube, and then the conversation is over.
Yeah,
it's kind of funny.
You can't win.
It's kind of funny.
Like you gotta.
Yeah, I live with like a flat Earth guy. He was a nice person. He just believed that the Earth is flat. You know.
Yeah. He's a nice person. He just had one fatal flaw.
I would say fatal. It was fine.
I mean, if he tries to run off the edge, you can kill him if he's right.
Yeah, you can just run off the edge. Exactly.
Yeah, that's what makes it fatal.
Yeah. Oh boy. No, there's the ice wall. They explained with the ice wall.
Oh,
yeah,
you're right. The ice wall. Yeah. And then the turtle. Maybe he'll catch you in his little claw.
Yeah, like the turtle is gonna throw you back to Earth.
Yeah.
No, human, you cannot escape. It's a prison.
It's a prison. We keep you here forever.
Yeah.
Nobody can ever die either.
Imagine if the Earth was actually like a prison, like a space prison, and we our ancestors got dumped here because like they made something bad, like Australia.
Oh, like Australia! I was just gonna say.
Yeah. Instead of Australia, it's just the Earth.
Yeah, no, it kind of feels like a dystopia where like there's a higher power and they're kind of just messing with us at this point, you know? They're like, hey, how about wildfires or disease?
Yeah, look at those dummies.
Yeah, they're just like watching us run around like we're on Plague Inc. or something.
Or The Sims.
This is fun.
Let me take out the leather.
Exactly.
Let me take out the leather from the pool.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did. The Earth is a pool on The Sims, and the creator has just taken out the ladder.
Let's see how long they survive.
Yeah, they're just watching us go down.
Wasn't that patched out at some point?
I think it was patched out. Because they can get out on their own. They can just use their arms and just
party
push themselves
poopers
out, which is ridiculous. I know,
party
unrealistic.
Poopers.
Nobody has that kind of torso strength. Ridiculous.
Just let me kill my sim, you know?
Yeah.
What's so wrong about that?
The most humane way.
Yeah, drowning.
Is it?
Drowning by exhaustion.
Yeah, exactly. It's like she died doing what she loved. Sleeping.
Swimming.
Sleeping. No, sleeping in the pool.
I wish sleeping on a pool, like on a mattress on a pool, would probably be pretty cool. But you could also die very fast.
I know. Yeah, I feel like I would fall in, and then my brain like won't wake me up.
Yeah,
just like, oh, I'm having a swimming. I'm having like a swimming dream. That's what I was trying to say.
A swimming dream.
Yeah, I'm gonna just kind of like breaststroke my way into the afterlife.
Yeah.
Like, bye guys.
Yeah.
Feels so realistic.
Okay. All right. I think we talk about enough shit about everyone, and everyone hates us now. Okay. I always at the end ask people if they can offer advice. If for anyone that is starting like a channel, or if you have experience with writing, if you can like give advice on writing, anything you want.
Okay, so I feel like it's all going to be cliche, but with anything, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Like with writing, I always do a first draft where I just write the absolute worst things I can. Like I'm just going to write something, and if it sounds absolutely horrible, it's just like a kind of like a stream of consciousness, you know? I'm like, oh, he gets up and he answers the door and there's a weird package, how strange, and then he takes it inside, and like, you know, just exactly how it comes across in your head, because you have all the time in the world to polish it, you know? And then with like content creation, everybody says like stick to a schedule, like have regular uploads. That's really important because then people know when they can find you, where they can find you, stuff like that, you know? And I think my other piece of advice would be like definitely interact with people. Like you want to make other creator friends and you want to interact with your viewers, because those one-on-one relationships are what are really going to get you places and make it a fun experience, you know? And that's what should be the most important thing. So I think that's my words of wisdom, if I could even call anything that I say wisdom.
Yeah, I think everyone has like a unique take on it, like, and you can like take. It's like I always say as a guide. It's like there's no like surefire way. Like there's no like look for do those 5 steps and you're gonna be a millionaire. Like no, those don't exist. Everyone that says that
it's never
is a liar.
Yeah, because if that happened, then everyone would watch those like how-to videos, and everyone would be a millionaire, and there wouldn't be enough wealth to go around.
Exactly. So. Yeah, but yeah, that's like definitely making mistakes is like a part of it. Like make as many mistakes as you can. as long as you can.
Exactly. Yeah, because as long as you learn from those mistakes, like that's one thing that you won't do again. Like if you have a part of your video that, you know, where you left in like, I don't know, I want to say like 4 to 6 minutes of just plain old shiver walkthrough and there's no commentary and it's actually a clip from earlier on in the video, then you know what, you won't do that again.
Yeah. Or
And don't go look for that video either. I edited it out now, but
yeah.
now that I've realized my mistake.
Yeah.
But I won't do it again. That's the
yeah,
point.
exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for Erin. Thanks for dropping by.
Thank
we
you
could
for
not
having me.
have
This has been a lot of
your
fun.
partner here, but your partner in
Yeah.
crime.
My partner in crime.
But maybe next time. Who knows?
Yeah, next time.
Who knows? Thanks for dropping by. And yeah.
Of course. Thank you for having me once again.
Do you want to send the people off?
Oh gosh, I've never sent anyone off before.
I would. My is very simple. I just say, take care of yourselves and have a nice day.
Okay, take care of yourselves. Ready? I'm going to say it for you.
Okay.
Ready? As my good friend Carl would say, take care of yourselves and have a good day.
Yay!